In the quiet hills of Obudu, a village in southeastern Nigeria draped in mists and known for its lush greenery, lived a woman whose beauty often stilled the breath of even the proudest men. Her name was Amara, which meant grace. But grace was the last thing Amara thought she possessed. For while she was known for her radiant skin, her laugh that once sounded like birdsong, and eyes that sparkled like morning dew on cocoa leaves, Amara had grown bitter with loneliness. She believed deeply that everyone in Obudu hated her. Children would stop playing and grow silent whenever she walked past. Young men who once vied for her attention now avoided her eyes. Even her own uncle, Pa-Ease, who had raised her after her parents' death, had grown distant and cold. The old women at the stream would suddenly hush their chatter when Amara came to fetch water. If she came to market, everyone left their stalls or avoided her stall entirely. Each day felt like a stone added to her chest. At first, Amara tried to convince herself that it was all in her head. She laughed it off, even sang to herself as she pounded yam or washed cassava. But laughter dies quickly when it's not returned. One evening, she brought food to a gathering in the village square, okra soup with snails and pounded yam, but no one touched it. Instead, they whispered and nodded toward her. When she returned home, the untouched bowl still warm, she broke. She cried for hours, curled up on the dirt floor of her hut. "Why me?" she whispered into the darkness. "What did I do? Why does no one want me?" She began to withdraw. She stopped going to the market. She no longer bathed in the river. The once vibrant girl now walked like a shadow. Then the voices in her head came, "You are a curse. Even your parents left you. End it and be free." One morning, Amara climbed the narrow path to Olumo Cliff, a place the villagers avoided unless they had to pass through to the farmlands. With the mist swirling around her feet and the valley yawning below, she stood at the edge. The wind whispered like a mother mourning a lost child. She closed her eyes, ready to take the final step, but just then a voice called out, "Amara!" She turned sharply. It was Obina, the palm wine tapper's son. His face was pale, sweat dripping from his forehead, though it was a cool morning. "What are you doing here?" she asked bitterly. "Come to laugh at me." "No," he gasped. "Please, don't do it. Don't jump." "Why not? Everyone already acts like I'm dead." Obina looked torn. He stepped closer. "We were trying to protect you." Amara frowned. "Protect me from what? Rejection, loneliness." He took a deep breath. "From the sickness." He led her away from the edge, and they sat on a large rock. Obina then told her a secret the village had kept from her for almost a year. A mysterious sickness, unknown and incurable, had slowly crept into Obudu, brought by a group of travelers who had passed through from across the border. It began with fever, then boils on the skin, then sudden death. It was said to spread with just a touch, a shared bowl, or even a cough. It was Pa-Ease who first noticed Amara's immunity. During the early days of the outbreak, she had nursed a sick child, Chika, without falling ill. Others who touched the same child had died. The village herbalist, Mamanjideka, said Amara carried a rare blessing, or perhaps a different blood. The sickness couldn't touch her, but rather than make her a healer, the elders feared she would become too close to the sick, and if she was somehow wrong, she'd unknowingly spread the disease. So they decided to protect her by avoiding her. They hoped that by isolating her gently, she'd remain untouched and alive until a cure came, or the sickness passed. But they never told her. Amara was stunned. Her heart beat wildly. "So, you all hated me because you loved me?" "No," Obina said quietly. "We loved you, but we feared death more." She laughed bitterly. "And what about now?" "Now," he said, "we realize our silence almost killed you anyway." He lowered his eyes. "We were wrong, Amara. Let me make it right. Let us make it right." Word spread quickly that Amara knew the truth. The next day, villagers gathered at her compound. Some came with goats, others with yams, others with just tears and apologies. Even Pa Ease, once stone-faced, knelt before her. Forgive an old man whose love was twisted by fear. Amara, for the first time in months, smiled. From that day, she became a symbol, not of fear, but of survival. She helped Mamanjideka treat the sick. Those she touched began to get better. Whether it was coincidence or the divine, no one could say. They just knew that Amara, the woman they once cast aside, had become their light. And Obinna, he never left her side again. Years later, long after the sickness had left Obudu, children would gather around the old storyteller, Amara herself. She would tell them, "Once, I thought I was a thorn, but I was a rose, protected by the thorns of fear." And they would laugh and ask, "And what about Obinna?" She would wink and say, "He still thinks I'm the most beautiful rose in all of Obudu, thorns and all." Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell for more inspiring stories like this. See you in the next one.